A student in a recent class approached me and asked about transitioning from a product manager to a product lead. And I guess for me, my first response or my first thought was this is just a terminology thing, right? You're switching from one thing to another. I don't know that I know what the difference is. So I did some digging and some soul searching to see if I could come up with what I thought would be a good explanation or a good starting point for an explanation on what the difference is. So here is the inquiry that came from my student. Ever since I started my new role as a product lead a few weeks back, I felt there was a huge difference in work and responsibilities I performed compared to my PM role back at my previous company. And I'm not entirely sure if this is because of the role or perhaps because of the nature of the company, where the startup environment requires me to always be scrappy. But I'm definitely loving every moment of it, and I'm constantly learning to be a better version of myself in this new role. With that being said, I wanted to share my experience and highlight some of the main changes I've identified to better prepare any first time product lead out there. So, this is a love letter to you from this person in my class. So, here we go. You are no longer just an individual contributor. Facts. I think the largest difference that I realized was that I was no longer an individual contributor. Gone are the days where I could simplify, focus on perhaps two or three projects, and see them through to completion. Instead, a lot more of the managerial skills where I play here. I'm held responsible for anything under the product that is my sole responsibility to ensure that my team is progressing as expected and has all the tools they need to be successful. But do not mistake this for an abolishment of your role as an individual contributor. If you still have products or projects that you're directly in charge of, like writing a PRD, and you have to you also have to make sure that those things are done correctly, that they're done in a way that exceeds expectations, that are at least to the level that you would have done them before. The whole thing is this is all about more thinking in this role and less execution. I also realized that the work I was doing involved a lot more product thinking rather than just product execution. This meant performing a lot more competitive analysis, strategy planning with higher management, monitoring of data to get valuable insights, high level road mapping. It was less of scoping out requirements, technical and non technical, with stakeholders, feature road mapping, and overseeing product development processes. This is something I definitely enjoy a lot more compared to my previous roles, as I feel that I finally have a say on how I want my product to be built. But, of course, at the same time, this also places a lot more pressure on me as my work performance is directly related to the performance of the product. So, part of this is you need to have a mindset or an attitude that you're willing to do anything. You're willing to do everything if you're asked. It's almost natural for a startup to not have all the people you might need to perform your job. For instance, lack of manpower, undefined processes, etc. But I realized that you need to look past these hurdles and start overcoming them by taking charge. Not enough people to handle a workload? Work a little longer than your regular hours and get things done. Lacking manpower in a specific area? Learn a new skill set and start trying to help in that area, even if it's with minimalistic work. No process is in place to manage a workflow? Start defining them yourself and make sure that they're followed. It's purely up to you to help shape the team's environment at work, and you have to step up in order to make it work. So step your game up, right? Being a new product lead is hard. In fact, I'll go as far out there to say it's probably really hard. It's okay to admit that you don't know everything. Even till now, I'm still constantly trying my best to learn more about the company and about how to be a good product lead. I'm hoping to use tools around me, podcasts, other things that are out there, as a career journal to document my journey and to share my experiences navigating through this new role. I know that some of you will have comments about this, and I encourage you to drop them in the comments. And I will pass them along to this individual because their goal is to learn from you and to help teach you about the things that they've encountered. But as always, that's going to do it for this episode, but it's not the end. If you have comments, if you want to reach out to this individual, if you have input, if you have thoughts, please, please, please let us know. Learn more at AgileDad.com. We would love to hear from you and you and you. And as always, we encourage you to stay healthy, stay well, and stay agile, my friends. Until next time, do take care. Bye now.